We're back in the Kelowna Dark Legacy. This is episode 5, Ill Tidings. So just to recap, you made your camp in the old dwarven burrow with Titi, a halfling priestess of Neptania. She told you of a man responsible for taking her family, an orc blight druid named Morn. Since you were sent by her temple and agreed to help her family and were not turning her in for stealing the holy thurible of Neptania, she agreed to help you. She had given you potions of healing she was forced to make for the cultists of the Ravager. She also showed you the path the cultists used through the Toxic Valley, a bog of poisonous gases that the druid was using to conceal his stronghold in flooded cavern. TT agreed to wait in the Dwarven Barrow for your return with her family. You finished your rest and made your way to the Toxic Valley using the cultist's secret path. TT's instructions helped you to avoid most of their traps along the route. You reached the bog, where you encountered a large alligator looking for an easy meal. You slayed the beast, even taking a small trophy from its mouth before leaving its body for the other predators of the bog to feast upon, rather than your own. Traversing the difficult mud and hip-high waters, you eventually discovered the flooded cavern. However, as you entered, you almost fell victim to a pit trap, and narrowly being its next victim. Making your way through the narrow and flooded tunnels, you found yourself entering a larger cavern that's bended gradually. Ryan, the Goliath cleric of Gimdall Wonderbringer, detected several undead creatures lurking in the cavern ahead. Soon you found yourselves battling severed limbs, hands that fell from the ceiling like undead spiders, skeletons awaiting in the muck and mire, and more of the strange dwarven corpses filled with the living, blood-drinking vines. After dealing with the dead, you made your way to a much larger cavern. It was there that you saw an orc priest of the Ravager tormenting 4 caged halflings. Upon noticing your presence, he cut the ropes of the iron cages holding the halflings, causing them to sink into the murky waters. During the battle with the orc, the vines that he was controlling began to feast upon his body. However, they began to control and take over his corpse, and they trapped Eerie, the merchant daughter and fighter extraordinaire, crushing her ribs, trying to squeeze every bit of life out of her. Mordecai the Aasimar helped free Eerie, giving Aetherius the mage the opening that he needed to slay this strange creature. You all rushed to save the drowning halfling family. You lifted and opened their cages with the keys that you found on the orc's body. The halflings identified themselves as relatives of Titi. You escorted them, you took the stolen thurible, a strange amulet, and the other orcs' belongings before you exited a cavern where you found that night has fallen over the land. And that is where we're going to continue for today. So, let me pull up a map here for you guys, little handouts. So as you just exit the cavern, you have the 4 halflings, 2 adults, 2 children, all scared, terrified, still taking care of your wounds.
Yeah, Ari looks pretty banged up right now. That rib was her favorite rib.
How bad are you hurt?
2 HP kind of hurt. Aries looking pretty bad.
Did you take your potion already?
I have not. The resource conservationist in me is going, if you could find a way to take a short rest, you can just use that. While the realist in me is going, yeah, you take that short rest, waist deep in the middle of the swamp. See where it gets you.
In the middle of the swamp with a family, with children. I was gonna give you my potion, but take it back from Ryan, or
Ariel use hers. Once we come out of there, Aries gonna see the nighttime, realize how banged up her favorite rib is, and then think of all the crocodiles and the alligators that are just sitting in there under the swamp waters, and then chug lug.
Well, thankfully, the potion tastes almost like a mild peppermint. It's very refreshing as it goes down, and your ribs seem to feel a little bit better.
It's 2d4 plus 2, right?
That is correct. Feel
Well, she's
a
not.
lot better.
She's not at 100%, but she's not feeling like maybe sleeping in the swamp might be a good idea.
So, who would like to try to guide the rest of you back to safety?
I think that'll be me.
Okay, well, brave soul.
nice roll on the HP.
Yes, Ari almost had maximum with a 3 and a 4 plus 2, so healing 9 points out of 10.
What's your bonus to survival, Salika?
+4.
Oh, alright. Then yeah, you're definitely better.
Ask for the beseechings of your god. Or a map. Ari is happy if you can actually ask him for a map.
Well,
Do I have guidance?
Yeah, take a guidance.
Doesn't that feel good to say?
It does, yeah. It's really good.
guidance is such a strong spell.
Especially when I really need it. What's the
Can-
roll on guidance?
Can I give him my inspiration?
I mean, you can. That's well within the limits of using it.
We need to get we need to get out of here. I'm using my inspiration. Roll again.
All right. You have advantage on your survival.
Damn it!
Well,
So join us next week as we start up with a fresh group of characters.
roll the guidance.
What's the guidance roll?
1d4.
Yes. So you get to add
Let's
a d4 to it.
go!
Hey!
Hey!
Max, that's not bad.
Certainly better than a 7 or a flat 9. That is for sure.
I need a hug now.
Yes.
Listen.
Well,
It's only
here's a
destiny.
little halfling child. You can hug them.
Well, we probably won't die. Probably.
Ari's
Maybe.
gonna have one on each shoulder. 'Cause I'm
And-
pretty sure they don't get above the water line.
And as you say that, Ryan, like the kids start crying. Like, we're gonna die! And they like hold their parents even tighter, sobbing, just wailing into the swamp.
We won't die. It's destiny.
Remember, 4 charisma.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not gonna die. Well, we're probably not gonna die. Are we gonna die? Ari starts
No.
crying.
No, we are not going to die.
Well, as you now, let me see. Does everybody have dark vision? Because no,
Nope.
Ryan and
Nope.
Ari
No,
are
we
going to
have
need
that,
some assistance.
No, remember I gave the kid a bolt with light
The
cast
light
on
spell.
it.
Okay, yes, I do recall you doing. All right, so you do have
I'll
some
be
light illuminating the area.
I'll be recasting it whenever it goes out.
Now, as Theris is doing his best, even with guidance, to traverse the swamp, every footfall seems to sink into like several inches of mud, and pulling your legs out just seems to be an ordeal. The water's pretty much waist high as you trudge through the swamp. You see that the trees, as you light up, the shadows that they make, the silhouettes. Sometimes you think there's other creatures just lurking out there in the darkness, and only to find out it's just how certain branches are just twisting and playing tricks on your minds. Well, that is until some of the branches seem to start to move. And not only begin to move, but separate from the tree and begin to move very quickly towards you.
Oh God.
It is at that moment that you realize that these aren't branches at all. They are somehow some sort of flying reptiles, snakes, as they begin to swarm in on your position. I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Nat 20.
Mordecai wasting no time on those 20s.
Oh, high roll.
That's
Oh,
actually
where were you?
That's actually a decent array of initiatives.
Well, it's pretty impressive. Not Mordecai level impressive, but very impressive nonetheless. Let me show you where these critters are on your map here. Can anybody not see the map before we go any further with this?
I can see it.
Yep, I've got visibility.
Okay.
Yep, it's fine.
Well, let's start off at the top here. Mordecai.
I guess my mage armor is
Your mage armor is
It's
done. It was
gone.
almost done at the end of the Orc Ravager encounter, and just traversing through the swamp here, it is gone.
okay. I'll move here, and I'll use my item interaction to pull out a python, and I'm gonna flip it in the air in front of me and then point at it and cast catapult.
All right.
So what happens is it goes in a straight line, and then until a creature in that line fails it, it keeps going. It fails a save. So they need to make dex saves or be hit by a very quickly moving python.
All right, and don't forget to target creatures when you cast these spells here.
Oh, right. Let's see.
I'm manually dragging it onto them. Both failed.
Well, it from my understanding of the spell, it stops on the first one.
Ah, okay. Yeah, let me check the text on there.
Yeah,
Flash
yeah,
your
it
9
stops
IVs.
moving on the first one.
Yeah, solid first object would strike a creature. All right, yeah. So the first one, go ahead and roll your damage.
7 damage.
So this flying reptilian predator, as it swarms towards you, your catapult strikes it. You see bits of flecks of red just fly off it, almost like a bloody cloud, and then the limp body of the serpent just fall into the water, making a loud whoosh as it does so. 3 more remain and still appear to be moving towards you.
I'm pleased I took one out before it had a turn, so that's I'm happy with that.
Well then, if that ends your turn, we're going to go straight to the flying reptiles. As they actually rolled halfway decent on their initiatives. And since you are the, say, 2... So, this one is going to fly straight up towards Aerie, and is going to try to bite Aerie.
Flying tentacle monsters.
Ho! Oh, 19. That is going to hit Aerie.
Oh yeah, that's definitely hitting.
This could hurt Aerie a bit.
Well, here we are again.
9 poison damage. How much did you heal again from the potion of healing?
This is another 9.
Yeah.
Remember last session? Second wind, 8 healing. Constrict 8 damage.
Yep. Fantasy Grounds just does not want you to heal. Wow.
I don't heal, then I don't get damage.
I'm sorry, Aerie.
Well, the other flying snake here. Let's see. He is going to fly over towards Mordecai, since he's closest. And 22 for a hit.
Yeah.
Actually, let me see something here before I roll that. Whoop. Ah. See, I let go of the dice and it thought it was attacking itself. It's hilarious. Check Billy here. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely going to do that then. So, first one didn't do it, but this one will. So, Mordecai, you're going to take 5 points of poison damage. I'll just drag it onto you here, since that was already rolled for the critter there. And he's going to use, after he strikes you, his flyby, which allows him to leave your threatened area without provoking an attack of opportunity. And he is going to position himself right by Aetherius. But he's not going to be able to attack. Now this one, on the other hand, is going to fly right over here. And he sees a nice, delicious halfling. And we'll roll a 6 and try to hit the halfling. And even with the halfling with no armor, manages to avoid being bitten by the flying poisonous snake. Although screaming in terror while holding a child. It's a very interesting sight. But they managed to avoid being poisoned and dying in the swamps. Well, good news. It is Aetherius' turn. And Aetherius has magic.
I think if I hadn't killed that first one, someone would be dead.
Maybe. Potentially.
Probably. So, let's see. Well, I'm gonna cast Firebolt on this snake. The one right next to Aerie.
Don't forget to target it.
Oh, he's got a target.
Good, you're not bad.
No, he's not Quincy.
Yeah?
But I'm still gonna miss.
Yeah, 5 modified to a 10 is not going to be enough to hit the small flying reptile. So the firebolt launches out in the air, briefly illuminates the bog as it flies through, eventually careening, hitting one of the dead tree branches, lighting it on fire briefly as it breaks and falls into the waters below.
Well, that's gonna be my turn.
Alright, well, Erie.
She is going to take her trusty hand axe and she is going to chuck it at Flying Snake.
Alright. Tossing your hand axe. On the plus side, well, you don't have to worry about hitting the halfling.
It's going to bounce off and keep flying to go after Flying Snake 3. As it just hits the pond, skips off, and...
That was her plan all along.
Well, that should have been a disadvantage, but it doesn't matter. It was miss anyway.
So, I mean, you throw your axe, but you try to skip it off the bog, and instead of it actually doing the nice little skips and hit the flying snakes, it just kind of goes, skip, whoosh, and the hand axe just sinks into the murky depths.
Aerie's going to drop her shield, draw one of the scimitars, and try to do that again. Just unequip my shield.
Aerie loves throwing her weapons, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah?
And it's going to skip as well.
Fantasy Grounds is not like you today.
Maybe stop throwing them.
12.
Well, the thing is, it lets me get 2 attacks off if I miss.
Oh, so you can do that again, the ricochet?
Yep.
There you go.
It should have been with disadvantage. Let me throw again. It skips away.
Hope sinks almost as quickly as that scimitar into the bog. Does Aerie want to do anything else on her turn?
I've got nothing.
Alright, well, Ryan, it is your turn.
Alright, well. He's gonna come over here. And he's gonna take a swing with his mace at Flying Snake 4. It's a good hit. Is that hit?
Oh yeah, that 21 is going to hit. If it didn't, y'all should be just running.
Yeah. 3 damage.
So you swing in, your mace makes contact with the snake. Its head not really looking towards you. As the mace hits it, it manages to stay up in the air, just flying with its little wings, its little bat-like wings. The head kind of whips around towards you. You just see the hiss. The fangs are bare, just kind of dripping with venom. And it's kind of looking towards, kind of between you and Aerie, just trying to see, like, what is it going to do? What does it want to do next? Is that end your turn, Ryan?
Yeah, I think that's gonna end his turn.
Well, we'll come back up to Mordecai. Supreme Catapult.
Well, I guess I'll Ray of Frost number 4. Did it pick me up?
Let's see. It doesn't look like it's targeted now.
No, I mean, did you hear me say that? I don't think.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
No, the Ray of Frost on number 4? Yes, I heard you. Chat heard you. The whole world heard you.
Oh, thank God. God damn it. Okay, I'm done TPKS.
Well, I mean, the Ray of Frost did hurt. It is affecting it, slowing it down. But that snake is still kicking. It's a little bit of ice, just you see the little bits of frost just kind of falling down towards the bog as it kind of moves. Its body writhes in the air. All right, let's see. You know, Ryan really pissed it off. So it is going to do a... Let's see. Doesn't look getting hit with that, so... It's going to try to bite Ryan. We'll hit with a 21. My God, these guys are rolling amazing.
Yeah, they are.
What? Why is it hitting itself? Alright, so that's going to be 7 points of poison damage to you, Ryan. You feel the fangs just kind of sink into your shoulder. And the snake itself will fly by. And it'll come over here, looking towards the terrified halflings. Alright, let's see. This one's going to definitely attack Therius. Bares its fangs, launches down at him. Wow, 19.
Jesus Christ, these snakes.
Oh my god.
The Ravagers should have, like, just bumped up these snakes. Forget the fucking orcs, right? Alright, so Therius, you take 11 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And as the venom sinks into your veins, everything begins to burn, your eyes begin to water, and you see, the rest of you see Aetherius just kind of slump and float in the bog water as the halflings are screaming, terrified. Let's see. So it's gonna try to attack the halflings again. Can't do it that way. Well, that's gonna be a miss anyway. So, natural 3. Maybe use the halflings as shields. They apparently the snakes can't bite into them for some reason. Never seen the rolls these crazy before, so it makes it interesting. Now, Aetherius, there shouldn't be an auto death roll for this, so it's gonna be your turn. Can't do anything, but you can try to make your death saving throw, and see if you get a nat 20 and jump right back. Now, to make the saves, just on your main tab on your character sheet, they'll have the death saves at the bottom. Just hit the little die icon, and that should roll it and auto-mark it as a save or failure. And that would be a failure. So,
Alright.
Therius is not looking too good. The veins kind of bulging, a little bit of dark spots kind of protruding from the fangs entered his neck. Ari, what would you like to do?
Well, right now I am completely disarmed, so I am going to draw out a scimitar. And I'm going to take a swing at snake number 2.
Alright, let's see what goes on.
I shouldn't have been with disadvantage. But with the 13 of hit,
13 on him. Let's see. 13 would not have hit.
let me just re-roll then, since it should not have rolled.
Yeah, you can go ahead and re-roll it.
Oh, it's because he's unconscious, that's why.
Ah! Yeah, because he hit himself. Let's see, which one is it? Alright, it should no longer be quote-unquote unconscious.
That's a miss, and that's all I can do.
Alright, Ryan. You're up, sir.
All right. First off, we're gonna strike at. We're gonna take another swing at the flying snake. It's gonna miss that. All right. And then, as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Aetherius.
Alright, well, Therius, you are back up with 4 hit points.
And that's going to be my turn. I'm all out of spells now.
Okay. Mordecai.
Oh god. We need to take one of these out. So another ray of frost at 4. What was that, Anthony?
I was going to say, yeah, hit 4, since hopefully even if you roll min, it goes down.
Oh, thank God it hits. Oh, thank Christ. Oh God, yes.
Mordecai discovers religion in the middle of battle.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, so the second ray goes off as it strikes the one that was already frosted. You see the coal begin to completely envelop the snake. You hear almost like the crackling of shards of ice, and the thing it's writhing starts to slow down. Even the wings, as it's trying to desperately stay up in the air, they begin also to kind of crystallize, and then you just see the whole snake just turn into almost like a block of ice as it falls into the bog with a loud splash. All right, and does that end your turn, Mordecai?
It does, yes.
All right, let's see here. All right, so this snake is going to be trying to attack the other adult halfling here, trying to protect their children. This one is the father that's being attacked. Ooh, that is going to hit. Alright, so the father gets bit, and you see him just kind of slump down, dropping the child into the bog as his eyes close, and he just kind of floats motionless on top of the water. His wife kind of just screaming next to him. She begins shouting, "Gentlemen! Gentlemen!" And see, the snake is going to fly by back over here. And this one's going to try to hit Therius again. It tasted so good the first time. Jeez! What the fuck? Another 19.
Well, I tried.
Goodbye, world.
Oh my god. And why didn't that target you? Okay. Well, maybe I'll roll really low. Let's find out. Oh, 6 damage. I mean, it rolled fairly low for its poison. But your saving throws have been reset, so yeah, Therius takes another bite and goes back down. The next one, let's see. Alright. So I still got some minor Twitch issues going on I'm trying to fix. As they finally reached out to me on something else. Alright. This one is going to be attacking the mother now.
That one's dead.
Wait, why? Yeah, he's should be auto removed. Alright, now it's Aetherius. It's wrong of you to say that one's dead when it's Aetherius' turn. Okay? Shouldn't do that.
It's just destiny.
Isn't that one of your sister's names?
Actually, that is my sister's name in real life.
Oh, well then.
We learn something new every day.
Voila, I think I'm back on my feet now.
No, you're not on your
Oh,
feet.
wait, I have to make 3 saves, don't I?
Well,
That
Just
just
stabilizes.
stabilizes.
That doesn't get you back up.
a natural 20 gets you back up.
Well, yeah, have fun, guys.
Hey, you're at least a third of the way to not dying.
Well, with that, we're going to be going to Aerie.
If you can move, I can at least stabilize the half elf. I mean the halfling.
Ari is going to draw her short sword and look the most serious and determined anyone's probably ever seen. And now that I have a weapon in both hands, I can hopefully end this. And here comes the first swing with the scimitar.
It's good.
Just one clean sweep just takes its head off. And she trudges over to the next one. Short sword in hand. And
All right then. All
Wow.
right, then.
Now
All
you
right,
get the
then.
credit. All the crits.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. You want to describe that wonderful crit action there?
She just cleaves through that one, just kind of skims through the water, and with another spinning twirl, just another clean cut right through the head.
All right. So as it cuts through the head, the serpent falls. The bits of it, blood starts to pool up on the surface of the bog there. Some chunks of the snake float for a few minutes before they begin to slowly sink in. With that, you have Aetherius who's unconscious, and you have Jomin who's unconscious.
Alright, as soon as the combat's over, Ryan is gonna go over to both of them and cast Spare the Dying on them.
Alright. So they're going to be both stabilized, though still quite hurt.
Yeah, we might want to give Aetherius the last potion, because we're not out of this yet.
That might be
Yeah,
good.
I
that would
do
be the
have mine
potion
on
I gave
hand.
to.
Yeah,
Oh, you have one?
Yeah.
yeah, he's got one. So, this Ryan's gonna take the potion off of Aetherius' pack and then pour it down his throat.
Should I be the one rolling it, or will he?
That's up to you if you want to roll it for yourself, or he can roll it.
He can roll.
Also, I'm kind of tired. Do you mind if I take a short little breather here? Find somewhere maybe not as deep in the water.
Well, you have parts of the trees that can that you can use to kind of put people on, kind of a makeshift. But other than the trees, and that's the only solid mass that you can see in this bog. It's part of the issues you had when you first entered into it.
Then Aries going to suggest we make for the trees, because if we don't catch our breath and patch up our wounds, she doesn't think we're getting out of here.
Mordecai offers Ari the potion of healing.
She kind of points at how badly hurt he is, how badly hurt Ryan is.
You recover 8 HP.
Mordecai is not looking too hot either. I just worry about staying here in this vault.
Well, if we don't take a break, we're staying here forever and ever and ever.
Very well. Let's find a place where we can rest.
Well, that tree doesn't seem to have any more snakes in it. Can I roll a perception to see if I see any more snakes in that tree?
You sure can. With all the branches and similar shapes, either that tree is one giant snake with many baby snakes around it, or, well, you think you may be surrounded by snakes.
Well, this is not good. Not the best situation.
We have one unconscious halfling and a terrified mother and her 2 children that are trying to wade through the bog with you. She's trying to hold on to both kids now and her floating husband.
Mordecai will walk over to the husband and throw him over his shoulder.
Harry will take one of the kids while we're traveling.
All right. Well, you'll have Joder, the son, is probably about 5 years old. He just kind of leaps up, as you kind of pull him out of the bog water, still crying.
It's okay. I feel like crying too.
I mean, they are making a lot of noise. The mother's trying to calm down her daughter, which is probably about 7 years old. Little pigtails kind of draping down. And she's just like, shh. And the little girl's just kind of wailing as well, crying for her daddy.
This is not a good situation that we're in.
He's fine, little ones. He's just sleeping now. He will be okay.
Alright. So, Aetherius, since you're alert now, would you like to try to guide the party out of the bog?
If we can do it, take a guidance.
Let's go for this again!
Not a one.
Resting.
Roll your guidance.
We don't really have a place to rest right now. I figure we'd start walking, and once we find a place, we rest.
18 is pretty good.
18 is
Yeah.
very good, especially with that 4 in the guidance. So you start trudging along, avoiding some of the more densely populated parts of the bog, some of the clusters of the dead trees, things that seem a little suspicious. Trying to, from your memory, using some of the stars, trying to get back to the trail that the cultists were using in the bog. As luck would have it, maybe divine luck, you manage to actually get to some of the shallower parts of the bog as the waters begin to lower. They recede from your waist. They begin going back down towards your knees, then to about halfway down your shins, and then eventually just a few inches of sopping mud that your feet are just kind of slipping and stepping in as you make your way to what you think is a trail.
Well, at the very least, we're out of the swamp now.
Perhaps now is a good time to take a rest.
Ari nods before saying, but I was just getting my second, third, fourth, fifth. What am I up to now? I breathe about 30 times a minute.
You're up
And it's
to...
been 1, 2. She's just sitting there counting minutes on her hand.
I'm sure. Mordecai will make the rounds with prestidigitation, starting with the family. Cleaning everyone off.
All right. Well, as you're magically scrubbing them clean, the little kids are still sobbing. The father's breathing, but he's still just kind of motionless. He's going to take a little more time to heal, but he is stable. He does look a little pale just from the venom, but you're not sure if it's a natural thing with that, but he did just have a near-death experience. So those taking a short rest here, if anybody has any hit die that you'd like to use that you haven't spent, you can do so now.
Yeah, me. I need to use a hit die. I don't like being at half health.
Same.
Holy shit.
Look at that. So now Mordecai's just showing off this session.
I did get half the kills in the fight.
Nat 20 starting it off. Most kills, first blood, max recovery. What else is next? Alright, so as you're kind of
hang on, I'm trying to figure out how to roll a stupid hit die.
do you
go
still
down
have
to, like-
one available is the question.
I should. I haven't used any, I don't think.
It should be at the very bottom of the
Yeah,
main
if you don't
page.
have a dice on your hit die at the very bottom, means you used it last session. So
I
like
don't think I did,
Aetherius,
but
so like Aetherius has one.
I don't think anybody's used a hit dice, though, from any of our rests.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did not use a hit die when we were in the cave.
You sure about that? Because you did take a short rest,
Yeah, I'm
bandaging it up,
pretty sure. 'Cause
and the only person I'm showing that still has a hit die is Aetherius. Because I think you used yours and you gave your potion to somebody.
Yeah, because you did get hit pretty good in the first fight.
Hmm. Oh well. Alright then.
We do still have Mordecai's potion if you're in danger.
I think it's worth taking it.
Alright.
Take it then. Mordecai hands it over.
Puts you up
Plus
to max,
2.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's beginning at the 2, so yeah, you should be at max.
No.
So you just healed
I
6.
I was at 7 wounds, so I'm at 1.
Well,
I
no,
have
no,
one
no.
wound, so I'm at 2.
You healed. It's 2d4 plus 2.
Yes, that's 6. I was at wound 7, so now I'm at wound 1.
Don't you have only 11 HP?
I do have
Oh.
11 HP, yes.
I'm thinking of reverse. Sorry, I was thinking you had the other for your damage,
Yeah, no.
not that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, it works. It works. You're honest. All right. So, as you drink the potion, your wounds begin to heal. You still have some bruises and scrapes on you, but you feel a lot better than what you were, especially with the venom that was once coursing through your veins. But it is cold. Even with the precipitation, it doesn't really fix the chill that's in the air. You're still far from the temple, but TT is waiting for you at the Dwarven Barrow. So the question is, once you finish resting up and bandaging your wounds, do you take the family back to the barrow, or back to TT, or to the priestess who the thurible was stolen from?
It just feels wrong going back to the barrel.
Yeah, not to mention there might be more cultists.
We should bring them to the temple, then go to the barrel.
Yeah, that seems like the best course of action.
We should do all that we can do to keep them out of trouble. So you say.
All right. Well, since you're going back to the temple and at the barrow, Aetherius, I want you to make a survival check with advantage.
Okay.
And it's because you not only have the map that was marked, but also you've been this way before. Man, Fistgrounds does not like you guys today. So, traveling through a fairly dense forest at night, trying to follow directions on the map. Even though you've been this way, some of the paths begin to kind of intersect and weave. You think you are on the right path, and then you find out that, wait, we just went around in a circle. You don't get turned around, but you do find yourselves just kind of stuck on the path here. What I would like everyone to do here is to make a Constitution saving throw.
$19.
Thanks, game. Thanks.
And that's Ryan's jam.
14.
So, Aetherius and Ryan, you two both gain a point of exhaustion as you're trying to wander through here. The trek is going to exert its toll on your bodies through the late hours, the difficult terrain. Aetherius, I'd like you to make a survival check, just a straight up
Take
check.
your guidance. Take your guidance.
Ooh, dirty 20 with +1 on the guidance, so 21. So
God damn it.
it's better than a 5 with advantage. So this time, you do manage to, even you're cold, you're tired, you just want to sleep. Something deep down just kind of clicks with all this. I guess it's just, either instinct or just one of those, your mind kind of goes into a fog and you're on autopilot and you're just guiding them back. As you do, by the time you snap out of it, you see the tree that the temple was built under, the little halfling temple to the nature goddess Neptania. You can make out clearly some of the edges of it. You recognize this area. You have led them back safely.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, is adventure over?
I think Eerie misses the swamp. She wants to go back.
I forgot to get fangs. Can't
Sure.
remember my necklace.
Sure, we could always go find some more flying snakes in the swamp. I'm sure we could always go find some more flying snakes in the swamp if you'd want.
Okay. And she turns around, starts walking.
No, I didn't.
And she was never seen again.
Mordecai just walks inside the temple.
Well, you walk up to the door, and the door is locked.
I will knock loudly.
FBI, open up!
Brute squad! No. Yeah, you knock on the door, and you hear something startle inside. Like, you hear like a tin cup just kind of fall off something and hit the floor and just kind of roll a little bit, just as it rattles. You hear these little quick footsteps, and it sounds like a stool or chair just kind of gets drug a little bit, and then you start to see the sliding latch by the door just kind of open a little bit. Oh, and he says, the little halfling's got like a little candle there, and you see she looks like she's got a crossbow, just kind of pointed. Oh, it's you. You've returned. Oh,
Yes, we have wounded.
and she kind of, you see her just kind of hop down. She lets the crossbow just kind of fall in its little sling around her shoulder. She starts undoing some locks on the door, pulls it open, and it is so much warmer inside. Like the warm air just kind of pushes out, and it is just a welcome relief from the cold night air. She has looks like she had a hearth kind of burning for a bit. It's not quite as bright as it once was. It's still kind of just not quite embers, but a very low flame, very small bits of wood on there. She lets you all in. She greets you all in. She sees the halflings. Oh my goodness! What happened? And she sees Joman, who's just like breathing but not moving, as the family's just kind of crying, and comes on in.
Snakes.
We
You know.
were attacked by some wildlife as we were exiting the swamp.
Oh my. Yes, the toxic valley there seems to... It's quite dangerous. We try to tell people to stay away from there. That's where these things came from?
Snakes. Tentacle monsters. Crazy druids. Oh, look at my tooth. Look at my tooth. It was from an alligator. Where's the crocodile? A crocagator.
Crazy druids. What has been going on? Did you find the relic?
We have found the relic.
And it's with that if Aetherius starts takes off the bag that has the relic in it and puts it onto the ground.
Oh my!
I would not touch it.
She looked like she was getting ready to just kind of touch it because it's been spiked up. The metal's tarnished on it. The thurible has been converted into basically a weapon, a flail, corrupted by the magics of the Ravager. So she's looking. It's like, oh dear. I'll have to see if what can be done to restore this. I thank you for bringing it back. And she just kind of gently takes it carefully with a bit of cloth and just kind of takes it to a back area, and you see her just put it in a little lockbox. After she does that, she starts grabbing various vials, and she starts looking over the other little halflings and starts trying to administer some things for Joman, putting a little rolled up cloth behind his head and trying to keep him warm, giving little blankets out to the kids. Are any of you hurt? And she's talking to you for Mordecai, Aetherius, Ari, and Ryan.
We are very... The first wounded among us was him, and he gestures to the halfling. All of you feeling okay?
Better than I was earlier.
Why did you in the middle of battle decide to lay face down and drink it? It probably didn't taste good.
He's just gonna stare at her.
I don't think that's what he was doing.
We need to buy you some floaties. We'll get like little puffed up things of air. That
Alright.
way, next time you don't drown.
I would prefer not to go back into another swamp. Thank you.
But you promised we're gonna go back and get Snake Fang. Ari just gives you big puppy dog eyes.
I made no such promise.
You didn't?
Nope. Not at all.
Oh, must have been the poison then.
Wow.
I think it's night time.
That is,
Sleep away the mind affecting poisons, because that's what all poisons do.
yeah, that nat 20 by Ryan on that deception. That is amazing.
The -3 charisma.
Well, as Ryan is lying his ass off and everybody is pretty much eating it up from that, you see Sati just going through the rest of the family there. She's talking to the children's mother. Nera is apparently her name as they're going through conversation. She's telling her that Joman, the children's father, that he'll live. It'll take some time for him to fully kind of heal up and get most of his strength back. He'll need to kind of stay here at the temple for the next couple days, but he'll be able to walk after that and kind of safely return home. Sati addresses the rest of you. Well, you can stay here the night if you like. The rooms aren't really meant for... and she kind of looks at Ryan with these really sad eyes. People of your stature, but it'd be more comfortable than sleeping on the stone or the cold terra firma outside. Would y'all care for anything to eat? I mean, we have some little bits of bread and some fruits if you're hungry.
Yes, whatever food you can spare would be appreciated.
Yes, please and thank you.
And she goes back and she opens a couple of the chambers that used to hold some of the other clergy here that have died from the attacks with the undead that were once attacking the temple. And she just kind of leaves it open. She brings like little bits of cloth and things in there, just trying to make it as comfortable as she can. And then she goes back, gets a little plate of just like little nuts and berries, nothing like super fancy. It's not like bananas or any of these giant fruits. It's just little small hand snacks essentially. She does bring a little bit of water, and she tries to relight the hearth fire to kind of warm the place up for you. Well, let me tend to the family here, get them situated into their rooms, and I'll let you tend to yourselves. If you do need anything, my chamber, she kind of points to a door at the end of the hall. Just knock on there and I'll assist you as best I can. And she makes sure that the front door is kind of re-secure. You see 3 different locks, some of them with chain that she just kind of re-secures. And she goes back and tends to the family before going back to her room.
Mordecai looks to the rest of the group. Was there anything else that was found on the cultist body? I could take a look at it and discern if there is anything valuable.
Didn't he have an amulet of some sort?
I do believe so. I did not manage to grab it, though.
So Aetherius is gonna pull out the stuff that he looted off of the leader's corpse and hand it over to Mordecai. I don't remember all of what it was.
I'll start going over each item with Identify.
I will also do
Alright.
that because I also have Identify.
Canary's just going to be shining her weapons, resharpening them.
You have a pearl that you can use for that?
Oh, right, I need that. Whoops.
I'm an artificer, so I don't need the material components.
All right, so what you've taken on besides the thurible, which you've returned, the relic itself, there was a small little leather pouch that Morn had on him, the orc druid of the Ravager. That's where you threw the amulet in, and he had that pouch and the key which he was wearing around his neck, which you also took, and those were for the rusted cages. What kind of do you like? Let everybody see everything that's in the pouch? Like, do you dump it out, or do you just kind of peek in it yourself?
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not being
gotta check. Some
shifty.
some people are very particular about that.
Mordecai understands working with a group. Being out in the open and upfront with everyone is important.
All right. Well, there's quite a bit of gems that he has in here. There's a pair of citrine gems. There's a nice, well-cut kind of jasper gem. He's got a moonstone. He's got a nice little onyx and a beautiful star rose quartz. I will put these on sheets to those who would like them. The gems that are of high enough quality where they could be worth quite a few gold a piece if you bring it to the right buyer or person of interest with that. There are a few coins in here. There's about 9 pieces of electrum. Now, the necklace here, though. So the necklace itself, as you kind of look over it, it's a very kind of delicate gold necklace. It's adorned with all these semi-precious yellow and red stones. It doesn't really have any other markings on it. But it looks like it would be of some value.
It doesn't bring up anything with Identify.
So, when you finish the Identify with that, looking over it, you do actually see something on it. Let me just drag this over here. I believe this is in Aetherius' inventory, but I'm just going to drag this onto your sheet here. Do you see the pop-up there, Mordecai?
Yeah.
So what you have, do you want to tell everybody what it is?
Yeah, what holy symbol is it?
Well, there's no holy symbol upon it. There's no other markings but the gems. So don't worry about the description on the actual look. Just really the name of it and what it does, the function.
Mordecai has been separating each group, the gems in one group, the election in another little pile. Then he sets the amulet down in a third spot and points to it. This is magical. It helps you breathe in hostile environments. Poison gas, some spells that make you inhale not good things. It helps you resist some of those kinds of things, you know. It is not super rare, but it is valuable.
Sounds like it could be quite useful.
Mordecai nods. Very useful, yes. How do we want to divide this up?
Erie looks up from her weapon, shrugs, and then goes back to it.
Is anyone interested in the necklace?
I would like it if you don't particularly mind.
Mordecai slides it over. I believe it is fair that if you receive the necklace, we divide this, and he gestures to the electrum and the gems between the rest of us. Is that acceptable?
That seems fair.
Ryan now has the necklace of adaptation.
All right. Make sure he gets that on his sheet here.
Am I able to tell how valuable the gems are, so I can kind of figure out how to
Make
divide them
a
up?
make an intelligence check. You're not a gem cutter by trade.
Nat 1.
And say Erie would be willing to assist. It's not her trade, but she's used to dealing in...
She's seen those, yeah, so she can make an intelligence as well.
I have no idea what these are worth.
$14.
So, from your time buying and selling, working with your family's merchant company, you know that these gems do carry a good bit of value with them. Granted that you go to the right person to exchange these, but you feel that you can get quite a bit of gold per gem, and by quite a bit of gold, anywhere between maybe 20 to 40, depending. And there's 6 gems. So that's a good chunk of money right there.
Right. These are worth 20 to 40, which means they're somewhere between 120 and... Erie just kind of stares at the wall as he tries to do the math.
Mordecai pats Ari on the head. Why don't we take 2 gems each?
I need an abacus. One moment.
And she builds one out of the gems.
240.
Why don't we take 2 gems each, and these electrum, we should pass them on to the halflings to get them back on their feet.
How much was there?
9.
It was like 9 electrum.
Fair enough. Arie's fine with that.
Are any of the halflings still up and about?
They're kind of back in the rooms right now. So, I mean, you can give it to them in the morning if you'd like.
Sure.
I'm just adding
So
the gems.
Now that is out of the way. Is there anything we should discuss before we go to bed? I myself am kind of tired.
I don't believe so.
What about the other halfling that we left in the swamp?
We'll go find her bright and early.
Sounds good to me.
Yes. It would be a bad idea to take the halflings to Zavera.
All right. Well, having divvied up your treasure, having been fed, probably hydrated, you have beds and warmth. Do you do anything else before you lay your heads down tonight?
Mordecai says his prayers as usual, does his devotions to his guiding force and the Platinum Sun, and he isn't gonna sleep in a bed. He's going to sleep. He's gonna grab a pillow and a blanket, sleep next to the front door to keep, kind of watch. So he'll be there if someone comes knocking at the door.
All right. Anybody else? It's Mordecai. You hear the sounds of Mordecai doing his prayers.
Ari is going to take out some paper and make a quick jotting down of the crucible weapon. That way she can at least take the design back and try to pitch it.
Okay. All right. So making notes on the thurible there. What about you, Therius?
He's not really doing anything.
Okay. And Ryan?
Ryan is going to make himself comfortable and then go to sleep as best he can.
Yeah, being quite large even for Goliath, trying to sleep in a bed made for a halfling, not the most comfortable thing in the world. But even though your arms and legs kind of dangle off the bed a bit, it is quite comfortable, though the boards and everything just kind of really creak, just with like the slightest move. It almost sounds like the timber's about to snap in half, but they thankfully don't. And even the blankets are a little small for your size, but they do manage to keep the chill from you during the night, so you actually can get some sleep.
It's good.
Now, during the night, Mordecai,
Yes.
you begin to have nightmares. You've had nightmares before. You've heard voices. Some of the time the voices are soothing. Other times the voices are jarring or even painful, like a knife twisting in your skull. You don't always understand what the voices say. Sometimes the words are almost garbled. Other times the language, while you can understand the words, you don't understand the context of the words. This time, however, there are no words. There is merely a dream that quickly becomes a nightmare to you. You're back in Aurora, walking through the streets. And as you're walking through the streets, there's a lot of merriment and happy people running about. You're not sure why. What is unusual for you, where it starts to become painful, is as you turn your head to kind of follow the people where they're running to all happily, the scene turns very grim. The flagstone streets that were once just dry and clean are bathed in blood. You see all the people that were running past you are now laying down. Some of their bodies tore open, others burnt. The blood is theirs that is now filling the streets. And as you look around, you keep spinning almost like a cinematic 360 shot. As you look back around, you just see bodies everywhere. You hear sobbing and cries of pain just kind of echo through the now empty streets. You are the only one, the only living person standing here in Aurora. And you find yourself at the base of the Nymph's Rest in the Sacred Promenade District. And that is where you wake up.
Wait, I wake up back in Aurora?
No, you had a dream that you were back in Aurora. And
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, you were just dreaming of there, and then the scene starts turning very grim. And then when you find yourself alone through all this death and pain and anguish, you kind of wake up.
Well, Mordecai sits up straight with a shout. The... oh, okay.
Eri hops out within her night clothes carrying a battle axe. What's going on? Is it the snakes? I knew the snakes would come back. You kill one, you have to fight a bajillion.
I'm sorry to wake you. It was just a dream. I get some every now and then.
I have to ask this, and I know our chat wants to know, since you said she was in her night clothes. Is the butt flap up or down?
No, she's just in a baggy shirt and shorts.
You learned your lesson from that.
Yes, I did.
Good man. All right, well, in that case, well, you see him in his little kind of flop sweat from his dream. But Sati comes out, sees, kind of just rubbing her eyes. Is everything all right? A little noise. And she just kind of peeks by the door where Mordecai's sitting up and Ares just standing about, all aloof.
Dream snakes. They got in. And Eri just starts flailing her great axe around before stopping. I think I got them. They're really sneaky, but if you hit them really hard, they go poof. And I don't see them anymore. I think we're safe.
Thank you, Eri. Miss Zati, I apologize. We are safe. There is nothing to be alarmed about. It was just a dream of sorts.
Well, I'm glad everything's okay. I'll be in the main chamber preparing for morning prayer if anybody would like to join. But stay as long as you need. Just come find me if you need anything. And she just bows her head politely and very quickly shuffles down the hall away from the commotion.
Mordecai pushes himself up to his feet. I think I will take her up on her offer. Some prayers may be good.
Okay, then.
Would you like to join me, Annie?
Nah, I'm probably gonna finish polishing this and go back to sleep. Do you see the scuff? Do you know how much trouble I'd get in if my weapon stayed scout? Not only does it decrease the sale value by 5%, but then my parents get mad. It ruins the show, they said.
I'm sure they will understand. We have had a very trying day yesterday. Weapons get scuffed. It is what they do.
And when they get scuffed and you can't fix it, You drop them and you move. It's that old Tolson saying, as long as you have an enemy, you are never disarmed.
I am sorry. Can I do something to help? Perhaps.
Well, I just finished polishing this really nice scimitar that would look great on your head.
It would look... What?
I'll even sell it to you for a discount. That'll be a great help for me.
I'm afraid I do not know how to use those weapons. I can handle a crossbow. I can handle a dagger. But my main weapons are the spells that I use.
Oh, those daggers are low quality. I couldn't sell them to you. I like you. Don't worry, I'll find something to sell to you in the morning. And she just runs off to go to sleep. Not giving him a chance to respond, just boof.
Well, he is smiling at this point. He's feeling a bit better, and he goes to join Sati to pray.
All right. So, as you go to meet with Sati now, Eri, it is technically morning. The sun is kind of peering through some of the closed slits in the windows. But I mean, if you want to jump back into bed, you most certainly can. You do see the other halfling family, the mother, kind of get up out of the room, and she does kind of bump into you as you're going back, as you're returning to your room. Oh, miss, I never caught your name.
I'm Mary. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. I never got to thank you properly for saving my family from that terrible man. We almost lost Joman to the creatures in the bog. Thank you for bringing them safe. And she's like almost in tears, and when Joman can walk again, we have a farm a couple days journey from here. If you ever need anything, just come visit us.
Mary puffs up her chest, super proud and happy. Thank you so much. Oh, just because there's like a bajillion Aries, my full name's Erica Tolson. Not the other one, but this one.
Okay, Erica of Tolson. I will remember you. Just be safe on your journeys, and may the gods watch over you. And she just kind of smiles, and see her just kind of wipe a little like tear that was forming, and she goes back to where you see the father's on the bed, just still recovering, and the two kids are still fast asleep in the room, and she just gently closes the door shut.
Harry gives a little wave before happily skipping back to bed. But she's probably not going back to sleep. She's probably just going to sit there and work on her weapons. Sun's up, Aries up.
All right. So, as the hours of the morning progress, Mordecai, you're with Sati doing the morning prayers. It's just a simple shrine of Neptania. It has a little bronze symbol of her, just a little circle with its kind of embossed on, It stands on a pedestal, and there's little spots where you can kind of kneel, give offerings, and pray. And she's just kind of kneeling at it, giving thanks, for the adventurers that have come to return her stolen relic to bring peace once again to this neighboring wilderness. And she's praying for your, safe journeys once you leave in the morning. Ryan and Aetherius, what do you do once you wake up?
Aetherius would probably wake up and just walk or go into the main room and find a place to sit quietly, just passing the time. Maybe mess around with the staff.
All right, fair enough. You do see the prayers that were going on between Mordecai and Sati to the goddess Neptania, but you don't do anything really to interrupt the prayers with that. What about you, Ryan?
Ryan is going to wake up, stretch, accidentally hit his head on the ceiling. Then he's going to pull out one of his mini books from his bag and begin reading it. To just pass the time until we're ready to head out.
Does he try to sit at one of the halfling-sized desks in the halfling-sized chair?
Yes, he does.
It's like a grown man sitting in a kindergartner's class. So just this whole group just sitting on this tiny little chair, reading the book at the desk. All right. Well, once everybody's awake here, prayers have concluded. The halfling children are kind of running about inside the temple. The mother is trying to keep them from destroying bits of the temple, really, with them just kind of running about. They're starting to get their energy back. Their father's responsive, but still very sick. They're just happy that they're been fed. They've been able to sleep. The bad man's not there. They're with their mother. So that they're showing restoration of once was with them. Their innocence has not been totally tarnished. Sati just kind of sees this, and you see a smile on her face that the kids are kind of recovering with that. They're playing with each other, getting their minds off of what happened. So, as she looks at the rest of you, what is next for you?
We go back to the barrows. We hope Titi shall be there.
Oh, you are able to find the dwarven graves.
He nods slowly.
And Titi's there? Is she dead?
We hope not. She was alive when we left her.
Oh, praise Neptania. Why hasn't she returned?
She needs to go on a great spiritual journey.
That is for her to say, not for me.
Okay,
She definitely said she had to go on a journey of self-discovery. And a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage, that's what she said. Although, why would you want to go chase after Pill?
She begins to go through some boxes, and she starts taking a few things. She kind of makes like this little bindle. She takes a couple bottles, some like bits of hard bread and cheese, and once she has everything there, other bits of like cloth and clothing, little bits of like traveler supplies, she gives you the small little bindle. Can you give this to Titi for me? If she has to go on this journey, I do hope that Neptania watches over her, and I hope this will help make her journey a bit easier.
I will be happy to give it to her.
Right. She smiles and goes back to tending the duties of the temple, trying to keep things clean from the little bits of messes that the children have been making. But she leaves you to your own devices after she gives you the bindle.
Mordecai will approach the wife, the halfling wife.
Naira, okay.
Yeah, he'll look over and touch her shoulder to get her attention.
And she looks over at you, just smiling. Yes, thank you for saving my family.
We are only happy that you are able to go back to your lives. But we have spoken with each other, and we would like you to have this. It is not much, but we hope you'll use it to get back on your feet. And he hands over the 9 electrum.
And she just kind of, her eyes just kind of go wide as you put the electrum pieces in her hand. She's like, no, I couldn't. You've already done so much for my family.
Please, we have other treasures from that horrible place, and we will be paid upon return of our to our place of residence. So we will be compensated well enough, but you must provide for your family. Yes, we only want you to be able to do that.
And just again, tears starting to fall on her eyes. She just kind of nods, not trying to argue the point anymore with somebody who's already done so much for her. She doesn't want to refuse the gift. She takes the electrum and thank you. You truly are an angel. And she just smiles and pockets the electrum, looking over at her children.
May the platinum sun guide your path. And he bows and walks back over to the rest of the group.
All right, so with that, is everybody ready to part from the temple?
Can you apply a long rest to us?
I most certainly can. That
would be appreciated.
That is something with Fantasy Grounds. I keep forgetting is a thing because we were stuck in Roll20 for so long. Let's get this here. Whoop, that's not the right one. Rest. Long rest. There you go.
I have spell slots again.
Spell slots,
Yay.
hit points, hit dice, you name it. You got it.
Is there any way to, in Fantasy Grounds, to track what your spell slots and what spells you have prepared?
Yes, actually, it should automatically do it for most things. If you go to your Actions tab at the bottom, they'll have, like, mode, standard. With that, if you toggle that, it'll show, like, prepared. So they'll help you keep track of what you've done.
Alright, cool. That's good.
It's one of those little things that it doesn't quite tell you about, but yeah, it's a great tool of Fantasy Grounds. All right, does anybody want to do anything else at the Temple of Neptania after you've returned from the bog, slaughtering the druid of the Ravager, who is creating an army of undead minions?
Ari realizes something. She's going to poke her head back into the priestess's room and go, hey, quick question. Could you go let the Fearless Landers know we completed your quest?
Yes. If they ask that you've done your task, I'll most certainly tell them what a wonderful job that you've done.
Okay, thanks. And then she's gone.
Got to get those extra brownie points. All right. So, with that, you want to go to the dwarven barrow where TT was hiding out, the priestess of Neptania who was forced to do some underhanded things to her own temple? Or did you want to head back to Aurora and report your findings?
No, we're going. I believe the consensus was that we were going back to the Barrows to find TT.
Very well. So, the Barrows, daylight, you know your way there. It wasn't too far away from the actual temple, just a couple hours trek. As you arrive there, the temple is what you remember of it. The dwarven make on the side of the hill, the vines creeping over the stonework, and the ground just as damp and noisy as you remember it with each footfall. Do you do anything before going inside the burrow, or do you just go in and try to find TT?
I don't have anything in particular planned.
I am taking up my short swords.
Alright, so, drawing a weapon, just exercising caution after having dealing with cultists of the Ravager in here once already. Does anybody move silently going in, or you just walk in?
I mean, I'm not really expecting to find anything, to be honest, so unless Mordecai sees someone else doing it.
If nobody stops her, Ares is going to be shouting, Tay!
So, yelling at the top of your lungs.
Is anybody going to stop her?
No.
No, there shouldn't be anything here.
Okay. You shout TT's name as it echoes through the dwarven catacomb. There is no response.
That's not foreboding. Hello.
And much like the first, it echoes out. You wait for any kind of response. Anything, any noise. Make a perception check.
All of us, or...
Wow, she's a really hard sleeper.
Anybody trying to listen for a response to Erica's shouts?
No, Arya yelled right into Mordecai's ear, so he's a little...
Oh, wow. It's a good roll.
Alright, so Arya with a 5, Mordecai with a 6, Ryan with an 18, and Therius with a 13. So, Therius and Ryan, as you kind of peek up, you don't hear anything unusual respond. In fact, it's fairly quiet. There is a little bit of dripping just from natural condensation from in here, just the difference of temperature from the outside to the interior here, the warmth of the mountain, the cold air outside hitting it. But outside of that, there is nothing. Ryan, you don't hear anything that would constitute, somebody being in here. You don't even smell things like burning embers or the smell of smoke. It's just completely empty, just like a tomb should be.
Huh, that doesn't bode well. We should... Though there is the chance that she might have just left.
It is possible.
Well, only one way to find out. And there he goes trudging in.
All right, as you make your
Mordecai
way.
follows.
All right.
Darius is gonna follow right up or behind them.
And thus we have our party order. So you go charging in. Some of you already have your weapons drawn. You make your way around the bend that you once did before where you were ambushed by the cultists. And as you come around the bend, you see the little fire pit that you remember from when you stayed in here before with TT talking about the blight druid who had taken her family, the predicament she found herself and she was forced into, where all the bodies of the cultists were at, where you fought valiantly and slaughtered them. You see the campfire that was there, but you don't see any of the bodies of the cultists, and you don't see TT.
I knew it. She was evil.
Can I inspect the campfire and see how old it is?
Sure can. Go ahead and make
I'm gonna give myself a guidance as well.
Okay, guidance and make a survival check. Wow. 22 with the
Nice.
guidance. So, going through the fire, just kind of like touching the ashes, they are fairly cold. You're certain that this has not been lit since probably about a good over a day. So, basically about the time when you were in here before was probably the last time it was lit. However, you do find something interesting as you were just going through the ashes. You touch something hard, like metal. And as you bring your hand up, the ashes kind of fall away. You see a partially smashed and burned holy symbol.
Can I recognize it?
Make a religion check.
I'd
With
like it to
advantage.
take a look as well.
Okay, you may also do so with advantage.
22.
Yeah, this is better. A lot better.
All right. Well,
I mean, I am.
well, both of you recognize it, mostly because you've just recently saw the symbol. In fact, Mordecai, you prayed at the symbol this morning. It is the symbol of Neptania. The gentle songbird holding a series of various twigs and plants within its claws.
This does not bode well.
No, it doesn't.
Well, either she was a traitor the whole time, or Aries gonna start digging in the fire remains, see if she can find like bone or.
All right, make an investigation check.
Nat 20.
All right. So while you're digging through the ashes by the campfire, looking for any other bodily remains, you don't find any other bones going through there. However, you do find what looks to be bits of, or at least the remains of a finger.
Are we talking halfling-sized finger, or?
No, much larger. Like, probably belong to somebody who's maybe between 6.5 feet.
An orc finger?
Possibly.
Hard to tell because it's been charred. So that the colored flesh has long been gone. It's all just blackened. And it's just shriveled up.
This certainly doesn't bode well. Although this
I'm not
could mean
sure.
many things.
I'm not sure what we should do now.
Can I roll
Well-
survival to see if there's any signs of a struggle in the cave?
Take a guidance.
Yes. You find a lot of kind of movement here, but it's hard to tell because you know that a day ago there was a big battle here. In fact, you were a part of it. So you're not sure if some of these markings are from your confrontation with the cultists or if these markings could have been with somebody else after you've left.
This is what I think. I think she stayed. She burned the bodies. And out of guilt abandoned her faith.
That does seem like the most reasonable conclusion.
Ari looks mildly upset but nods. How is she going to pray to her god without this?
Do not think she will be doing any praying.
And as you say that, for the first time in a long time, echoing through the caverns by the entrance, you hear sounds of wildlife, not those of a apex predator, like a panther or anything of that sort, but more of things like birds, songbirds, just merrily chirping.
Perhaps we should leave these ruins to rest and head back to the Nymph Rest.
Yes, it doesn't seem like we're going to learn anything else about what happened here or TT's ultimate fate. For now, we should press on.
I agree.
Okay. Well, as you leave the Dwarven Barrow, you start to head your way back towards the Golden Roadway, back to the grand capital of Aurora. I think this is a good spot for us to take a